Hi, I'm George Markowski. I want to introduce to you Christina Richardson. She's been with me for quite a while, over 10 years now, and knows my stuff really well. And she's one of our head property coaches, and you're in good hands.
Hey, it's Christina here, and really quickly I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my background and how I actually got involved with Positive Property in the first place. So look, my journey really began. I came from a family that struggled to make ends meet when I was younger, and I actually tried investing when I was 21 because I always wanted to invest, and I knew that the way to really make a passive income and to make money was to learn how to invest. So I bought my first investment property when I was 21. Now the challenge was I made all the normal mistakes. So I bought it in the wrong area, at the wrong time, wasn't getting the right rent, just nothing was working. It was almost a complete disaster, you could say. So it was negative geared about $350 per week, which wasn't that great for me. So it was really funny when I met George, because you know how you have that normal conversation, you know, what do you do for a living? And he told me that he'd actually retired through property. I sort of was like, well, how did you do that? How is that possible? So he started telling me about his strategies and, you know, the Markowski method, the whole concept of it all. How, you know, you trade your tax dollars and you invest with those, and you actually can get a property that's not costing you anything in holding costs, and it actually be positive from day one. And I sat there and I was thinking, wow, I've got this property that feels like a bit of a weight that's weighing me down. How the heck do I do what you're doing? Like, I really wanted to learn. So I was actually, in my career at the time, I was a journalist and I was working full time, and George was looking for someone to help him write his book. So he was writing a book called Freedom Through Property. So we ended up catching up over coffee, and I interviewed him and I agreed to actually help him write this book. So it was through interviewing him and through him teaching me his methods that I actually got to understand the whole concept of the Markowski method. And I really had that light bulb moment where I was going, oh wow, okay, this is how it works. And you know, the property clock and understanding all of his strategies, because there's so much to learn and I'm still learning every day. So it was really great for him to actually, you know, share that with me. And I said, basically, you know, I want you to coach me through property. So I became a member myself. And that's how I guess I found out about Positive Property. I was a member who was being personally coached by George, and he completely turned my situation around. So I went from basically losing $350 a week from this property that wasn't working. We sold that, got rid of that, and then it was 5 years later, and now I've actually got 6 investment properties under my belt that are all positive geared, and I've got lots of equity. So it's completely changed my situation around. It's completely changed my life. I cannot show enough gratitude of how thankful I am to not only have met George, but also his team, his circle of safety, who have walked me through the program step by step and actually held my hand along the way. And there's no way I'd be standing here now as successful as I am if it wasn't for George Markowski and his circle of safety actually helping me implement all of his amazing strategies when it comes to property investing. So in between all of that, obviously, we got engaged and we actually got married, and we were friends long before we even started dating. So it was really great. It was very organic how our relationship, I guess, came along, but also how I actually got involved with the company. So I was always buying, you know, 1 or 2 properties over the years. And it would be like at a family gathering, at a barbecue or a lunch catch up, that my family would say to me, oh, you know, how you going? And I'd be going, hey, I just got another investment property. And there were the naysayers, there were the people that were negative and just didn't get it. And look, they'll never get it. That's a mindset problem. That's with them. But I had some people like my auntie who said to me, Christina, I can see what you're doing. I know what you're doing. It looks amazing. I'd love to do the same thing. I just don't think that the banks would give me a loan. And I said, look, unless you actually find out what is and isn't possible, you're never gonna know. And you know, it was a bit like me, my experience, if I had given up after that first bad experience, there's no way I'd be standing here as successful as I am. So I said, look, why don't you just try it out and give it a shot? So she was like, yep, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna just try it and see what happens. So I actually helped my auntie get onto her first investment property. Now she's a single mother, 2 children, And she's actually been able to do that on a pretty average income. Not only that, she's actually paid off the rest of her mortgage in just 3 short years using our rapid mortgage reduction strategy. So she's absolutely wrapped, you know, it has changed her life forever for the better, and she's so grateful. So I started, I guess, organically helping people, friends and family that were seeing me and my success, and I couldn't help but talk about property whenever I caught up with people. So they'd ask me, you know, what are you doing? Or I'd say, hey, I'm buying another property. And it was people like my auntie who I just naturally coached and helped over the years. But I really came to a crossroads with my career, and this is where I made the big shift. I was working my corporate job, I was working hard, long hours as a journalist, and I just didn't feel appreciated. And George said to me, look, you've been coaching a few people here and there, you know, just personal friends and family that you know, you're really good at it. I'd love you to come on board and be a coach for Positive Property. And I always sort of said, oh no, you know, I've got my career, that's separate, you know, you've got your business, let's not mix the worlds. But it wasn't until he started booking all these overseas holidays and I had to actually get the time off work and get the leave. So I'd always be asking for, you know, 3, 4, 5 weeks off just to go on these holidays. George, he's retired, he doesn't have a boss. He doesn't need to worry about getting time off work. So that's where I started to, I guess, butt heads a little bit, and I really realized how constricted I was with my lifestyle, being in this corporate job, but working hard, working long hours, and just not feeling appreciated, you know, not feeling the gratitude from the corporation really, that I was putting all this love and hard work and energy into. Whereas I had people like my auntie and other friends and family that still to this day tell me how grateful they are and how life-changing, you know, me helping them and coaching them through successfully investing in property has been for them. So I had that little aha moment, you know, I had that fork in the road where I was like, okay, you know what? I can quit my job because I've got enough investment properties, I've got a passive income now that's supporting me, I've actually got options and I've got choices. And it was having the investment portfolio that allowed me to have that freedom and, you know, cut ties and quit my job, which was great. And now I get to do what I love every single day, you know, helping mum and dad investors, you know, single people, single mums, and everyone in between, people from all walks of life. It's just amazing. I'm so blessed to be able to do my passion and do what I love every single day. And I'm just so grateful to George Markowski and the Circle of Safety who made it all possible. So guys, I cannot wait to help you in your investing journey. Let's get started. Let's rock and roll.